Hey everybody, and welcome to Battlefield Bad Company.
Honor, faith, land, oil. Wars are fought for any number of reasons. But, on the battlefield, every soldier has to find his own. As things turned out, me and my buddies found a pretty interesting one.
I don't normally sit around on menu screens, but listen to that music. So yes, this is Battlefield Bad Company, the first entry in the Battlefield series to have a solid story-based single player. It does have a multiplayer component, as with every other entry in the series, but the single player, in my opinion, is extremely good, and is carried not only by the story, but by the humor and the characters involved. You'll see this more as we go on. This is the loading screen. I won't usually be showing it. In every level there'll be these clips and sort of pictures that indicate roughly where the levels are set.
Welcome to the 222nd Army Battalion, to B Company, where they rake together all the leftovers and troublemakers deemed expendable by the Army. They call it Bad Company, a mismatched bunch of rejects placed to serve our country as cannon fodder. My name is Preston Marlowe. They could have thrown me in jail for what I did, but instead, they transferred me here. This is my story.
Private Preston Marlowe reporting for duty, sir.
You sure you in the right place?
I believe so, sir.
How many people have died now? Did I say 22? Oh, and then,
This is B Company, right?
Yep, sure is. But you want to cut out that sir, yes sir crap? I'm a sergeant, not the goddamn president.
Okay, sorry, sir. I mean, Sergeant.
Yeah, whatever. That one over there, his name is Sweetwater.
Hey, welcome to the sandbox.
His name is Hacker.
Hey, how you doing? You smell very clean.
My name's Redford, you can call me that. Or Sarge. We're all in this mess together now.
Right, Sarge. Do you know what squad I'm supposed to belong to?
A new guy trying to smell like a brand new toy. Yeah, give you 3 to 2. He's dead by Friday.
Sarge?
You can ride with us. New guy.
New guy. Okay.
Me? I'm due to go home in 3 days. But you best get to know the others. Haggard over here, he's a natural-born demolition expert.
What? I just like it when stuff blows up. Yeah, and that's just fine as long as it's the enemy stuff.
And Sweetwater? Well, if you ever need somebody to talk a hole in your head, guess who's the guy?
That's a cheap shot. I don't really talk that much.
Shut up.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet, over.
Oh, listen, it's the new dispatch girl, Miss July.
Mike 1 Juliet, this is Bravo 1 Charlie. Over.
You ought to move up ahead of the convoy to scout the terrain. I'll get back to you with further orders. Out.
Oh, she's got a real nice voice.
Sweetwater.
Check it out. It's the cavalry. Yeah, isn't it amazing how we always go towards the fighting and they're always flying in the opposite? I hope those are our guns. It's a beautiful sound either way.
Listen out, boys!
Ah, typical.
Quit your whining, sweets! It's about time we got some action! Look at the new guy, he's...
Oh, look, new guy's dead. Already? I was just about to learn his name.
I think it was probably Joe. Usually is.
His name is Preston. Preston Marlowe, and he's not dead. Right, soldier? Let's see if you're okay. Try following my instructions. Look up. Okay, now look down. You feel okay, Marlowe?
This is just really your normal tutorial section.
Crouch under the car.
There you are, new guy. Oh, you sure don't smell so good anymore. Well, welcome to bad company. Damn, you're a mess. You sure you're still alive? Use the auto injector. It's good stuff. Gets you back on your feet. That's what I'm talking about. Good as new.
Looks like your weapon took a beating as well. Let's find out if it works okay. Try hitting those barrels over there.
In general in this game you want to use iron sights, but I kind of find it fiddly with the analog sticks on the controller anyway.
Everything seems to be working fine. Make sure you pick up any extra ammo you find in crates or on fallen enemies. We can use all we can get our hands on.
You know, you can shoot grenades too. Try blowing a hole in that house. It's fun. Yeah! No need using the door. Just make your own.
This vehicle's busted. Marlowe, grab a power tool. See if you can fix it.
You can only carry one primary weapon at once, for example the M416 here. You can also carry an offhand weapon like a power tool or, well, some other things we'll see later.
Marlowe, get this piece of junk on the road. Good job, Marlowe. Maybe we'll keep you around after all.
Yeah. Thanks for pimping my ride.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet, over.
The dulcet tones of Miss July.
Mike 1 Juliet, this is Bravo 1 Charlie, over.
We're getting some heavy shelling from grid 641. You've got to go ahead to take out the artillery base. Out.
You heard the lady. We're taking the artillery base.
That's not playing it very safe.
My middle name is not safe. Well, actually, it's Gordon, but
Now let's move out before those Russians get their act together.
So what are we gonna do, Sarge? We just gonna run straight through the enemy lines?
Yeah, Haggett, that's a great idea. Or we could use the vehicle over there.
One thing that I will point out is this is still sort of an introductory area, so I won't be talking too much because honestly I don't want to talk over these guys.
So, the field manual's kinda hazy on four-man assaults on heavy artillery positions, but I was thinking maybe,
Let's just get up there and kill them to teeny tiny pieces.
No, listen. We're not taking any chances. We go in as a team and we stay in cover as far as possible. Now move out. This is our stop. Eyes open, okay? And Sweetwater, just shut up.
What? I didn't say anything.
But you just did.
That's not
I
fair.
know you are, but what am I?
Shut up.
So hopefully you already have a fairly good idea of why I like the game, and why I like the sort of humor and writing in it.
Hostiles up ahead.
Honestly, the gameplay is fun, but these three are the reason why I come back to it. We're getting into our first firefight here. You might notice that I'm sort of aiming a little weird. The reason for that is that honestly I am just not so good at aiming with analog sticks. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the combat in this game, and just in general shooters on consoles. I'm much more used to aiming with a mouse, and so it always feels a little slow and clunky aiming with the analog sticks. I don't want to be going on about this because honestly it's just a sort of personal preference thing, but just to let you guys know that that's why I'll be acting a little strange sometimes. Now, just to speak a bit more generally about the gameplay and the combat here, Bad Company certainly isn't a hyper-realistic game. You can take a fair amount of fire, and it does feel kind of arcadey. However, as with most of the other Battlefield games, if you've played any of them, it certainly does err on the side of realistic. You do need to sort of stick in cover and take your time when attacking enemies, although it is tempting at times to just run into the middle of some enemies and burst out firing, and I know I sort of fall foul of that myself sometimes. Really, it's not the best tactic, and it's a good way to get yourself killed.
That's all. Push on.
The best way is to just take your time, advance through cover, and make sure that you don't get any enemies behind you. So long as they're in front of you, you can deal with them fairly well. The enemy AI isn't too good at flanking you, and generally will just sort of move up towards you.
Everyone okay?
Never been better! I'm fine. New guy's fine too. Way to go, new guy. Staying alive. Very good start.
Squad, regroup.
Hey, look! That's our chopper!
After every sort of section where you split up and go your own way fighting, Redford will always bring you back by asking the squad to regroup.
Bravo 1, Charlie. Are the artillery guns still intact? Juno convoy hit some trouble down by the bridge. Over.
Mike 1 Juliet, you want us to use the enemy guns? Over.
Affirmative. Bracket the hostiles by the bridge, boys, but be advised, we've got friendlies in the area. Out.
I ain't gonna do it. If I hit our guys, y'all gonna yell at me. Hey, crazy idea part 2. Let the new guy do it. Good one.
Marlo, stay sharp.
Convoy, seeing those...
This section is sort of half minigame and half multiplayer training. These guns you get in the multiplayer version, and they're fairly useful actually, so it's a good idea to sort of get familiar with them. The main thing to remember with this is to account for travel time. This isn't a sort of arcadey style, just click the button and then shells rain from the sky. You do have to take into account that it takes time to fire and then time for the shells to arrive there, so the vehicles will actually have travelled a fair distance and you need to lead the target quite a lot. The other thing you need to remember in this section is to keep an eye on the radar in the bottom left. That way you'll be able to see where the friendlies are and also where the enemies are coming in, to make sure that you're not going to hit any of your own guys. The hitbox, or sort of rather the scatter on the shelling on the gun, is kind of weird though, and there's not much to do than just sort of get in the right area and hope that you hit the vehicles. The other thing is that the detection of whether you've hit them or not is also a little, well, a little off, so sometimes you'll think you will have hit when actually you haven't.
Artillery fire inbound on target. Juno convoy is good to go. Impact. Saying again, Juno is clear. Nice shooting.
Bravo 1, Charlie. This is Mike 1 Juliet. Juno convoy needs an alternative route. The bridge is shot to hell. Now there's a river crossing up ahead that'd be perfect. You boys go sweep away the bugs. Over.
Okay, we're on it, Mike 1 Juliet. Out.
I could sure use a break from all this walking. Why don't we try to find some ride?
Oh yeah! We could get one of those monster trucks. Like, Truckosaurus Rex. I bet that surprised the hell out of those Russians.
I really don't know how to respond to that, Haggett.
отходить. It's a hit.
Great initiative, new guy. This is perfect.
Well, it ain't Truckosaurus Rex.
The vehicles in this game follow the proud Battlefield tradition of being land, sea and air, and they're actually integrated pretty well. I mean, it's a fun sort of mechanic, and to be honest, they're not as sort of sectioned off as you might find in other games. I mean, you can actually just pick up a vehicle which might be lying by the side of the road, not necessarily intended for you to drive it, and just head to your next objective and start shooting some guys. You've got a fair amount of flexibility on when and where you use them, which is nice because as opposed to if it's just sort of, okay, now you're walking and now you're in a vehicle section, it sort of feels a little too confined.
Should we check out the house?
Negative.
Could be something valuable inside, though.
Yeah, looting is an old wartime tradition, Sarge.
Marlo, you take a look.
You're letting the new guy do it? That's not fair.
Here we get to see the first of two sort of collectibles in the game. You can pick up various kinds of weapons. There's actually a fairly extensive list of types that you can find. Some are rarer than others, and it'll give you different stats on them all. To be honest, I prefer my existing M416, so I'm going to keep a hold of that. I'll be posting the various stats. I won't be necessarily finding every weapon, because honestly it does get a little long-winded and a little over the top.
Chopper spotted. Stay low.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Please don't let him have seen us.
You see, that's one thing I didn't quite understand. We're hijacking an enemy vehicle, so presumably the helicopter wouldn't know that we're not on his side. Anyway, this is a bit of a better example of how combat in this game goes. A little bit more chaotic and a little less organized. I decided just to jump straight into the middle of the enemies, but as I said before, that's suicide if you stay out in the open too long. So it's best to sort of circle around and get yourself in some sort of safe position. The one thing you can't do is control your squad, and honestly they do pretty well. I mean, they're invincible, you don't have to worry about them dying, so you can let them take care of themselves.
Here they come. Ah, crap. Those Russians.
This machine gun can be a little fiddly to aim at times because it's really sensitive to motion, and the guys are pretty far off, so there's not much of a margin for error.
Okay, Bravo 1 Charlie. Juno convoy is inbound to your position. Hold down the fort until they arrive. Out.
Stay with me. Juno convoy should be here any time now. What's the man? Light tank by the river crossing. Get down! Get down!
Hey, look! That's our chopper! Woo! God bless high explosives!
Okay, regroup.
In this case, the smoke is actually on the other side of the river crossing, but most of the times it's fairly close by. One thing you will have noticed is that the game isn't sectioned off into sort of small levels. There's only about 6 or 7 different missions, and they each have a lot of these little mini sections between checkpoints.
Mike 1 Juliet, this is Bravo 1 Charlie, over.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet. Great work at the river passage, boys. I've got a new job for you straight away. You are go for Objective Mustang. Over.
Could you tell her I said hi?
Objective Mustang, affirmative. Out. Okay, listen up, boys. There's a farm due west, possibly held by Russian forces. We're going to scout it and clear out any hostiles.